Ladies, let me break this thing down for you because I know the confusion a lot of you have when it comes to men. You sit around wondering, how do I keep him interested? How do I get him to chase me and not the other way around? And I get it. You've been told so many times to play games, wait 3 days before texting back, don't answer right away, act busy, act like you don't care, and on and on. But let me tell you the truth straight from a man's perspective. Men are hunters. That's how we're wired. When a man wants something, he goes after it. He doesn't sit back and hope it falls into his lap. He moves, he chases, he pursues. That's what men do when they're serious. But here's where so many women get stuck. You forget your value, you hand over your power, and you end up doing the chasing. That's backwards. Because the man who's supposed to be in your life, he will pursue you naturally. All you have to do is position yourself in such a way that his nature as a man wakes up and pushes him to chase after you nonstop. Now, you don't need to send him essays, you don't need to call him 10 times a day, and you definitely don't need to beg for his attention. All it takes is the right words, and I'm telling you, 6 little words can flip the switch in his mind. These 6 words right here, you're not ready for someone like me. That's it, 6 words, but let me explain why they work like magic. First, those words scream confidence. You didn't say, please love me. You didn't say, why don't you call me? You didn't say, where is this going? No, you looked him dead in the eye, even if it's through text, and you said, you're not ready for someone like me. That tells him you know your worth. That tells him you're not about to waste your time. That tells him he better step up or step aside. And that right there, ladies, is what makes a man chase. See, men are competitive. We don't like being told we can't handle something. If you tell a man he's not ready for you, oh, that flips his ego on. Now he's thinking, what you mean I'm not ready? I'm ready. I can handle you. I can prove it. And now, instead of you chasing him, you've created a challenge that makes him want to prove himself to you. Men thrive off of challenge. You don't win a man's heart by making everything easy. You win it by showing him you are valuable, you are rare, and he has to work for you. And that's not about playing games. It's about self-respect. The beauty of those 6 words is that they also separate the serious men from the pretenders. Because here's what's going to happen. If he's a real man who actually sees value in you, he's going to rise up. He's going to call more, text more, want to see you more, because now he knows he has to put in effort or risk losing you. But if he's not serious, if he was just stringing you along, if he was just enjoying the attention but never had any real intention to commit, then those words will make him fade. And that's good news for you. You didn't lose anything. You saved yourself time, energy, and heartache. That's the filter. Real men will chase, boys will run. And I know some of y'all are thinking, but Steve, won't that scare him away? Listen, if a man gets scared because you set a standard, that's not your man. If he gets scared because you know your worth, then he was never going to step up in the first place. You don't want a man who only wants you when you're quiet about your value. You want the man who can handle your confidence, who can match your energy, who sees you as the prize you are. That's the man worth your time. So don't ever be afraid to send those words. That's not desperation. That's power. That's you holding the crown and saying, not everybody can sit beside me. Only the one who's ready will get this seat. Now, let me put this in perspective. Imagine 2 women. Woman number 1 is constantly texting the guy, checking up on him, asking where things are going, trying to convince him to take her seriously. She's doing the chasing. What happens? He gets comfortable. He knows she's not going anywhere. He knows he doesn't have to put in any effort because she's already doing the work for him. Now, woman number 2, she knows her value. She likes him, sure, but she's not about to beg for him. She hits him with those 6 words. You're not ready for someone like me. And then she sits back. What happens? He realizes she's not like the rest. She's not easily impressed. She's not desperate. And if he wants her, he has to prove himself. That's the difference between being an option and being the prize. Ladies, you've got to understand that men are drawn to strength. We respect it, we admire it, and deep down we want it. Don't let anyone tell you that being confident and setting standards will drive men away. The wrong men will leave, yes, but the right man will love that about you. The right man will chase that. He'll step up because he knows he has to meet you at your level. And let me tell you something. When a man decides to chase you, really chase you, there's no stopping him. He'll call, he'll show up, he'll make plans, he'll move things around in his life to make sure you know you're important to him. That's what pursuit looks like. The problem is so many of you are wasting time trying to make the wrong man chase you. You can't inspire chase in a man who doesn't want to pursue in the first place. That's why those 6 words are so powerful. They expose his intentions. They make it clear whether he's serious or not. And if he's not, you don't lose. You win because you free yourself up for the man who will chase you nonstop without you having to beg for it. So here's what I want you to remember. The moment you say those 6 words, you shift the dynamic. You remind him who you are. You remind yourself who you are. You're not just another woman hoping to get his attention. You are a queen, and queens don't chase. Queens inspire the chase. A man who sees your value will rise to meet it. A man who doesn't will disappear. And either way, you're better off. So don't be afraid to stand in your worth. Don't be afraid to set the bar high. Don't be afraid to text him those 6 words and mean them. Because when you do, the right man will chase you nonstop, and you won't have to question his intentions ever again. I've been telling women for years that men are simple, but we're not always easy to deal with. We've got egos, we've got pride, and most of us don't even realize half the time what we're doing until somebody calls us out. But here's the thing you've got to understand: men are built to pursue. It's in our DNA. If we want a job, we chase it. If we want money, we chase it. If we want success, we chase it. And if we want a woman, believe me, we'll chase her. The only problem is some women forget this and end up flipping the script. Instead of letting the man chase, they start chasing the man. And let me tell you, nothing makes a man lose interest quicker than knowing he doesn't have to work for you. The chase is what wakes up a man's desire. It's the pursuit that makes him value the prize. Now, I know the question in your mind is this: how do you get him to chase? How do you make sure he's the one putting in the effort, not you? It's simpler than you think. Sometimes all it takes is the right words at the right time. And I'm about to give you a line so powerful that it can flip his whole mindset. Just 6 words. You're not ready for someone like me. That's it. Send him that and watch what happens. Here's why those words hit so hard. First, they shake him. Men are used to being complimented, or at least tolerated. We're used to women wanting our time, asking for attention, asking where things are going. But when a woman looks at us and says we're not ready for her, that cuts straight through the ego. You just put a mirror in front of him and made him ask himself, am I really ready? Do I measure up? Am I about to lose her because I'm not stepping up? That's powerful. It takes the control away from him and puts it right back in your hands. Second, those words tell him you're not desperate. You're not sitting around waiting for his text. You're not lowering your standards just to keep him interested. You're letting him know you've got options, you've got confidence, and you're not afraid to walk away. Men respect that. We may not admit it out loud, but trust me, we do. When a woman carries herself like she's the prize, a man's whole attitude changes. He knows he's got to earn her. He knows he's got to put in work. And the more he works for you, the more he values you. Now, let me be clear about something. Those 6 words aren't about playing games. They're not about manipulating or tricking a man. They're about drawing a line in the sand. They're about saying, look, I know my worth. If you're not ready to give me the kind of attention, respect, and effort I deserve, then you're not ready for me. That's confidence. That's standards. That's what makes a man chase. Because here's the truth: men are natural competitors. Tell a man he can't do something, and he'll break his back trying to prove you wrong. Tell a man he's not ready for you, and if he's serious about you, he's going to move mountains to show you he is. He'll call more. He'll plan dates. He'll show up. He'll want to lock you down before somebody else gets the chance. That's the instinct you trigger with those 6 words. You don't have to send him paragraphs. You don't have to blow up his phone. 6 words are enough to make him chase you nonstop. But let me also say this: those words are a test. They reveal a man's intentions real quick. If he's not serious about you, if he's just wasting your time, if he only wanted something casual with no real effort, then those 6 words will make him vanish. He'll disappear. He'll stop calling, stop texting. And that's not a loss, that's a blessing. because you don't want to spend weeks, months, even years chasing after someone who was never planning to step up in the first place. Better to know now than later. Those words save you time, energy, and heartache. The right man will chase harder. The wrong man will run. Either way, you win. And let me tell you something about men. We like challenges. We don't value what comes easy. If a man thinks you're just going to wait around forever, he'll take his time. He'll give you crumbs, just enough to keep you there, but never the whole loaf. But if he feels he might lose you, if he senses you're not waiting around, suddenly you become the challenge. You become the prize he can't afford to lose. And when a man feels that, his pursuit kicks into high gear. He'll chase you with a level of energy and consistency you didn't even think he had. Picture this for a second. A woman is dating a man casually. He calls when it's convenient, texts when he feels like it, doesn't really put in effort. She gets frustrated, but instead of nagging him or begging him to step up, she hits him with those 6 words, "You're not ready for someone like me." Suddenly he's wide awake. He realizes she's not like the others. He realizes he can lose her. And if he cares at all, he shifts gears. He starts showing up, starts making real effort, because he knows another man will gladly take his place if he doesn't. That's how powerful those words are. And I know some women are afraid to say something like that. You're scared it might push him away. But let me ask you this. What are you really losing if he leaves because you demanded respect? What are you losing if he disappears because you showed confidence? You're not losing a man. You're losing wasted time. The right man will never be scared off by your standards. The right man will see those words and think, okay, she's serious. She knows her value. I've got to step up. That's the man you want anyway. Now, don't just send those 6 words and then turn around and act desperate. If you're going to say it, you've got to mean it. Your actions have to match your words. If you tell him he's not ready, but then you keep chasing him, calling nonstop, putting up with his bare minimum effort, then those words mean nothing. A queen doesn't just say she's the prize. She acts like it. She protects her peace, guards her time, and only gives access to the man who proves he deserves it. That's how you make him chase you nonstop. And once a man starts chasing, once he realizes you're serious about your worth, you'll see the difference. You'll see consistency. You'll see effort. You'll see him step up in ways he never did before. Because nothing motivates a man more than knowing the woman he wants could walk away if he doesn't give her his best. That's when his true pursuit shows up. That's when you see what he's really made of. So remember, those 6 words are more than just a text. They're a statement. They're a boundary. They're a filter. They shake him up. They challenge him. And they reveal who he really is. A man who wants you will chase you harder than ever. A man who doesn't will fade. And either way, you protect your worth. That's the power of confidence. That's the power of knowing you're the prize. Let me be straight with you. Men are not that complicated. We act like we are. We put on this tough exterior, but at the core, we're simple. If we want you, we come for you. If we don't, we'll give you excuses. And I've got to tell you this truth because too many women are wasting their time chasing after men who don't have the intention of chasing them. It's not supposed to be like that. A man was designed to pursue. It's in our blood. From the beginning of time, men have been hunters. We see something we want, we go after it. We don't sit around and wait for it to walk over to us. But somewhere along the way, a lot of women got conditioned to believe they have to do all the chasing, all the convincing, all the work to keep a man's attention. And that's where things get backwards. The man who is truly into you doesn't need to be begged, bribed, or chased. He's going to call you. He's going to want to see you. He's going to move his schedule around if he has to. But the problem is too many of y'all accept crumbs, bare minimum effort, and then try to convince yourselves that maybe one day he'll step up. And I'm here to tell you, stop. You don't have to play that game. You don't have to lower your standards. Sometimes all it takes is one strong statement to shake a man awake. 6 words that can flip the script. You're not ready for someone like me. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking. That sounds too simple. How can 6 little words change the whole game? Let me explain. Men have egos. That's not a secret. Our ego is tied to our ability to win, to conquer, to prove ourselves. When a woman looks us in the eye, even through a text, and tells us we're not ready, oh, that ego gets triggered. Now we're not thinking about anything else but proving her wrong. It makes us stop and think, what you mean I'm not ready? I can handle you. I can step up. I can prove it. Those words create a challenge, and men live for challenge. But it's not just about stroking his ego. It's about setting a standard. Those words let him know you're not just some easy catch. You're not sitting around waiting for him to decide when or if he wants to treat you right. You're not afraid to call it out if he's not showing up the way he should. You're basically saying, I'm a woman of value, and if you can't recognize that, then you're not the man for me. That's powerful. That's confident. And that's what makes a man chase. Here's the beauty of it. Those 6 words work as both a magnet and a filter. If he's a real man who sees you as valuable, he's going to step up. He'll chase you harder than ever because now he knows he's got to. But if he's just wasting your time, if he's just hanging around for fun with no intention of making you a priority, those words will scare him off. And that's exactly what you want. You don't want to waste another month or another year trying to convince somebody to treat you right. You want clarity. You want truth. Those 6 words deliver both. And ladies, let me tell you something. The right man is not intimidated by your standards. The wrong man will always tell you you're asking for too much, that you're difficult, that you're too picky. But the right man, he'll say, okay, I hear you. Let me show you I can meet that. He'll rise to the occasion. He'll accept the challenge because men don't chase things they don't value. We chase the things we know are worth it. Think about it. Look at a man when he wants a new car. He'll save money. He'll work overtime. He'll research everything about it. He'll do whatever it takes to get it. Why? Because he values it. Same with a job, same with a business opportunity, same with a woman he truly wants. When he sees value, he invests. When he doesn't, he takes the easy route. Those 6 words force him to decide if he sees value in you or not. That's why they're so powerful. Let me give you an example. Say you've been talking to this guy for a while. He's interested, but he's not consistent. Some days he texts you all day, other days he disappears. You're left wondering where you stand. Now, instead of nagging him, instead of writing long paragraphs about how you feel, you hit him with, you're not ready for someone like me. Watch what happens. If he's serious, he's going to snap out of his comfort zone real quick. He's going to chase because he doesn't want to lose you. But if he's not serious, he'll fade away. And that's not rejection, that's protection. You don't want to spend energy chasing someone who was never going to step up anyway. The thing about men is, we don't like to admit when we're slacking. We'd rather coast until we're forced to wake up. Those 6 words are a wake up. They let him know you see his effort or lack of it, and you're not afraid to walk away if it's not enough. That forces him to make a decision. Either he rises up to the challenge or he removes himself. Either way, you win. But here's the key. When you send those words, you've got to mean them. Don't send them as a bluff. Don't text him that and then turn around and chase him anyway. If you say he's not ready, then you better hold your ground until he proves otherwise. That's where your power comes from. A man can sense when you mean what you say. He can also sense when you're bluffing. Don't bluff. Stand firm in your value. That's what separates queens from everybody else. And let me tell you this, men respect strength. We may act like we want things easy, but deep down, we admire the woman who holds herself to a higher standard. We admire the woman who doesn't crumble at the first sign of neglect. We admire the woman who knows she's valuable and refuses to settle for less. Because if we get that woman, we know we've got something rare. We know we've got something every other man would want, and that makes us chase harder. That makes us protect her, commit to her, and do what it takes to keep her. So when you tell a man he's not ready for someone like you, you're not just sending a text. You're setting a tone. You're telling him, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. If you're not ready to match that, then step aside. And that kind of confidence, that's magnetic. That's what pulls the right man toward you nonstop. Because the right man doesn't want a woman he can walk all over. He wants a woman who challenges him, who inspires him, who makes him better. He wants a woman who makes him feel like he had to earn something special. That's what those 6 words do. They remind him that you are the prize, and he's got to prove himself worthy. And listen, don't ever think you're asking too much by wanting to be chased, by wanting effort, by wanting consistency. That's not too much. That's the bare minimum from a man who actually values you. You don't have to settle for halfway. You don't have to beg for what you deserve. All you need is the courage to stand in your worth and call it like it is. And those 6 words, that's the courage in action. That's you saying, I refuse to waste my time. Either step up or step aside. Let me be honest with you, because I've been saying this for years. Men are not confused about what they want. When a man wants something, you'll know. He'll show you. He'll chase after it. He won't sit around waiting for it to magically fall into his lap. That's how men are wired. We're pursuers. We're hunters. But here's where the problem shows up. Too many women forget this and end up flipping the roles. Instead of being pursued, they end up doing the chasing. They start calling too much, texting too much, trying to convince the man to see their worth. And the whole time, that man is just sitting back comfortable because he knows he doesn't have to do a thing. You've already handed over the power. But let me tell you something, if a man doesn't chase you, he doesn't value you. I don't care what excuses he gives. I don't care how busy he says he is. I don't care how much he claims he's not good at texting. A man who wants you will make sure you know it. He will make sure he doesn't lose his chance. And if he's not doing that, then the best thing you can do is wake him up or weed him out. And the way you do that, 6 little words, you're not ready for someone like me. Now, don't let the simplicity fool you. Those 6 words carry weight. They send a message loud and clear. First, they communicate confidence. You're not sitting there begging for his time. You're not questioning your own value. You're not asking where things are going. You're standing tall and saying, I know who I am, and if you can't see that, that's on you. That's strength. That's power. That's the kind of statement that makes a man stop and think. Second, those words challenge him. And men, let me tell you, we respond to challenge. You tell us we can't do something, and we'll do everything in our power to prove you wrong. You tell us we're not ready for you, and our pride kicks in. Now we're thinking, oh, really? I can handle you. I am ready. Let me prove it. That's what those words do. They light a fire under a man, and suddenly he's chasing you because he feels like he has to prove himself worthy. But here's where it gets even deeper. Those 6 words don't just push him to step up. They also filter him out. If he's not serious about you, if he was never planning to give you his best effort, then those words will make him fade away. He won't argue. He won't chase. He won't fight for you. And you know what? That's a blessing. Because now you don't waste another day trying to make something happen with a man who doesn't see your worth. The right man will chase harder. The wrong man will run. And either way, you get your answer. Think about how powerful that is. Most women spend months, even years, trying to figure out where they stand with a man. They analyze every little thing he says, every little gap in communication, trying to decode what it means. But those 6 words cut through all of that. They put him on notice. They force him to make a decision. Either he's going to rise to the occasion or he's going to back away. And the quicker you know which one it is, the better off you are. Now let me be real with you. Men love what they earn. We don't value what's just handed to us. If a man doesn't have to put an effort to get your time, your love, your attention, then he won't cherish it. But if he has to work for it, if he has to step up, if he has to chase, then it becomes valuable to him. That's why those 6 words matter. They create a standard. They remind him that you're not just anybody. You're not sitting around waiting to be chosen. You are the prize, and if he wants you, he's got to earn you. Now let's talk about the fear some of you might have. You're scared to send those words because you think it might scare him away. And I'm here to tell you, if he leaves because of those words, then he was never your man in the first place. The right man isn't going to be scared by your confidence. The right man isn't going to run because you set boundaries. The right man is going to respect it. He's going to say, okay, she's serious. She knows her worth. I've got to step my game up. That's exactly the kind of reaction you want. And listen, don't just send those words as a bluff. You've got to mean them. If you tell him he's not ready for someone like you, then don't turn around and accept crumbs from him. Don't go back to chasing him. Don't lower the standard you just set, because men can tell when you're serious and when you're just bluffing. If you're serious, he'll feel it. And if he's the right man, he'll chase you nonstop. Let me paint you a picture. You're dating a guy and he's inconsistent. Some days he's into you, some days he disappears. You're confused. You don't know where you stand. Most women would get frustrated and either lash out or start overcompensating, trying to win his attention back. But instead, you decide to stand in your power. You text him those 6 words, "You're not ready for someone like me." Right then, the ball is in his court. If he values you, if he really wants you, he's going to get his act together. He's going to show you he's ready. He's going to chase harder. But if he doesn't, then he'll fade out. And instead of wasting months trying to figure it out, you've got your answer in one text. That's wisdom. That's strength. Men respect women who respect themselves. We admire women who know what they bring to the table. You think a man is going to chase after somebody who doesn't even see her own worth. No. But a woman who stands tall, who carries herself like she's the prize, who lets him know she won't settle. That's the woman we go after. That's the woman we put effort into. That's the woman we chase nonstop. So remember this, those 6 words are more than a sentence. They're a declaration. They tell him you're not average. They tell him you're not settling. They tell him that if he wants you, he has to prove he's ready. And that's the kind of energy that makes a man put in the work. Because men don't chase easy. We chase rare. We chase valuable. We chase the woman who makes us feel like winning her is the greatest reward.